when you want the truth, and when you want the facts, you better watch No Filter, because I got your back. Ain't no ducking, ain't no dodging, ain't no scheming, ain't no hiding, cause I got that work. You wanna get this work? You wanna get this work? You about to get this work?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to No Filter News and Talk, and it's your girl Ingrid. Don't you dare ask me where I've been, because I've been on the scene. Now, some of you may have caught my videos before YouTube deleted them, but yeah, I've been trying to put my material out there, but of course, you already know I get hated on, okay? I want to send a big shout out to all my subs out there. You guys absolutely, positively rock. Mwah. You already know that there's love here, and you already know I want to say hey to my new subbies. I got a bunch of new subbies, and I want to say, hey, welcome, and welcome you with open arms, okay? And if you have not, but would like to join the No Filter News and Talk family, all you have to do is like, share, and subscribe. Put on your thinking cap and come on over, because we welcome you with open arms. Now, let's just jump into this video, shall we? What I want to talk about is, will there ever be justice for Breonna Taylor? I don't think so. And I'm going to tell you why, but I just really don't think so, okay? Because we haven't got it now. They're trying to weasel their way out of it. I don't believe there's going to be justice for Breonna Taylor. Unfortunately, I hope so. I really would like to see it. I hope so. But unfortunately, I don't think so. But, what do I know? I could be wrong, and this is just my opinion. Now, let's go over the case just a little bit, okay? What happened in Louisville, according to this article for the New York with the New York Times, shortly after midnight on March the 31st, Louisville police officers they issued a search warrant and they used a battering ram to enter the apartment of Miss Taylor, a 26-year-old emergency room technician, okay? The police had been investigating two men who they believe were selling drugs out of a house that was far from Miss Taylor's home. This is what they said. It was far from Miss Taylor's home. But a judge also signed a warrant allowing the police to search Miss Taylor's residence, because the police said they believed that one of the men had used her apartment to receive packages. Miss Taylor had been dating that man on and off for several years, but had recently severed ties with him, according to her family's lawyer. Miss Taylor, and if y'all, pause. Let me pause this. Now, if y'all been watching The House, y'all already knew that she wasn't with that guy no more, and they had broke up, if y'all been watching The House. So why would you still issue a warrant? And you already know she got a new dude. Why would you still issue a warrant and to go into this woman's apartment? The judge that signed it, okay, we need an investigation on all of you. Okay, back to this article. Miss Taylor and her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, had been in bed, but got up when they heard loud banging on the door. Mr. Walker said he and Miss Taylor both called out asking who was at the door. Walker later told police he feared that it was Miss Taylor's ex-boyfriend trying to break in. After police broke the door off its hinges, Mr. Taylor fired his gun, once striking Sergeant Jonathan Manley in the thigh. The police responded by firing several shots, striking Miss Taylor 5 times. Okay, pause. How they shoot her 5 times? She didn't have a gun. They shot her 5 times though. Why did they shoot her 5 times when he had the gun and he was the one who let off the round? Make it make sense. Okay, I'm going to keep going. One of the 3 officers on the scene, Detective Brett Hankinson, however you pronounce it, who had since been fired, shot 10 rounds blindly into the apartment. Okay, so if y'all felt that if they felt that they didn't do anything wrong, how come none of them is being charged? Okay, y'all fired him. But come on now. I mean, he shot 10 rounds blindly into the apartment. Mr. Walker told investigators that Miss Taylor coughed and struggled to breathe for at least 5 minutes after she was shot, according to the Louisville Journal. An ambulance on standby I want you to listen to this. An ambulance on standby outside the apartment had been told to leave about an hour before the raid. Counter to standard police practices. That was the standard practice. As officers called the ambulance back to the scene and struggled to render aid to their colleague, Miss Taylor was not giving any medical attention. Now, why is that? Pause. Why is that? Who was the ambulance driver who was called back to the scene? And I'm just saying, who was the ambulance driver who was called back to the scene and struggled to render aid to their colleague? I mean, did you freeze up when you saw your colleague's body on the ground, bloody, bleeding, or was it an orchestrated hit? But let's just keep it going, shall we? It wasn't until 12:47 a.m., around 5 minutes after the shooting, that the emergency personnel realized that she was seriously wounded after her boyfriend called 911. Pause. How is that? You don't see that she's seriously wounded? It's too much hole. It's too many holes in this story, and 9 times out of 10, when it don't add up, you can't make it add up because some lies somewhere. So, I don't know what's happening. Someone kicked in the door and shot my girlfriend, Mr. Walker said on a recorded 911 call. Miss Taylor received no medical attention for more than 20 minutes after she was struck. The Journal reported, citing dispatch logs. Why is that? Police was there, ambulance was there, but nobody gave her aid. Nobody rendered aid to her. They just let her bleed out. Things to make you want to go, who wanted to make sure she was dead? Who wanted to silence her? What was really going on in this Breonna Taylor's case? But okay, let's keep it going. The Jefferson County coroner told the Journal that Miss Taylor most likely died less than a minute after she was shot and could not have been saved. Pause. Who is the coroner? Who is the Jefferson County coroner? We need your records. The family should have another autopsy because we don't believe you. We need more people. Why? Because the boyfriend said that she was breathing for like 5 minutes on her own after she was shot. But the coroner said, like, likely died, after 1 minute after being shot. That's conflicting stories to me. Which one is it? And we still need a second opinion because we don't trust your coroner report. We know that you work hand in hand with the police, and the police been trying to cover their tracks. Now, the department had gotten court approval for a no-knock entry. The court order, listen to this, the court orders were changed before the raid to knock and announce, meaning that the police had to identify themselves. Pause. Why was her house targeted? Why was her house such a big issue? They had a no knock. Now they decide to knock at the last minute. I mean, what's going on? Why was this lady house such a target? The officers have said they did announce themselves, but Mr. Walker said no, he did not hear anything. No drugs were found in the apartment. A lawyer for Mr. Walker said Jamarcus Glover, Miss Taylor's ex-boyfriend, whose alleged packages led police to her door that night, was arrested on August the 27th in possession of drugs, according to a charging document. He told the Journal that Miss Taylor had no involvement in the drug trade. The police are trying to make it out to be my fault and turning the whole community out here, making it look like I brought this to Breonna's door, he said. Miss Taylor's mother, Tamika Palmer, said her daughter had big dreams and had planned a lifelong career in healthcare after serving as an EMT. She was a better version of me, said Miss Palmer, a dialysis technician, full of life, easy to love. Breonna was a woman who was figuring everything out in her life, who had turned a corner, said Sam the lawyer representing Miss Taylor's family. Breonna was starting to live her best life. Wow. Now that is definitely sad. The Louisville police says that they fired inside Miss Taylor's home only after they were fired upon by Mr. Walker, Taylor's boyfriend. They say that Mr. Walker wounded one of the officers who was hit in the leg but was expected to make a full recovery. Mr. Walker was charged with attempted murder of a police officer. Wow. Though the charges was dismissed in May. Wow. Okay, so he was charged of attempted murder when y'all came up in there and didn't even announce yourselves. The police also asserts that they knocked several times and identified themselves as police officers with a warrant before entering the apartment. Mr. Walker has said he and Breonna Taylor heard aggressive banging on the door and asked who was it, but they did not hear an announcement that it was the police. And I believe them. I absolutely believe them. And that right there is what we know so far in this whole Breonna Taylor's case, which is a darn shame. One of the officers, Mr. Hankson, was fired. The other officers involved in the case, Mr. Madeline and Miles Crossgrove, have been placed on administrative reassignment, so they still got their jobs. None of the officers face criminal charges. The Kentucky Attorney General, Mr. Cameron, is now leading the investigation. The FBI is also involved. Why was this woman's house targeted? Y'all knew she had broke up from that boyfriend, and still you came to this woman's house. I mean, y'all could have easily asked her anything. Why did you feel the need to have to knock on her door or even issue a warrant? When she worked in the medical field, she was an EMT. Y'all could have easily asked her, different questions like, hey, can we talk to you for a minute? Tell us this, tell us that, tell us, what I'm saying, what do you know about your boyfriend, your ex-boyfriend, what's going on? And they probably did. And she probably said, I don't got nothing to do. Me and him ain't together no more. I ain't got nothing to do with none of, you know what I'm saying? Like, that could have been the conversation. Why did y'all need a warrant and y'all knew she wasn't even with him no more? Y'all knew that because y'all had been watching the house. That's what I'm saying. They're trying to cover their tracks. And no, I don't believe that there will be justice for Breonna Taylor. I absolutely don't. I hope it will, but I absolutely don't believe that there will be justice because they are trying so hard to cover their tracks and even willing to pay. They're even willing to pay out money, to hope this thing go away. I mean, like, that is just ridiculous. Give us justice. How about that? How about that? Give us justice. Wow. But you guys, you tell me what you think. Because I have been saying it. And I've been saying it for the longest. I do not believe that their justice will be served. They are too busy trying to cover their tracks. They're even contacting the ex-boyfriend in jail, trying to get him to say that Breonna was involved in the drug trade. And she was not. She was not. He said that she wasn't. But they still probably harassing him. And because he came out and said what they were trying to do, they probably harassing him in jail, beating him, making him miss meals, putting him in the hole, several different things. And they too need to be investigated. The whole thing need to be investigated. They really messed up. And instead of saying we made a mistake, we absolutely made a mistake. This is what happened. You fired people. You fired certain people, for just shooting blindly into the apartment. You fired them, but how come you didn't charge them? Because they felt like the officers didn't do anything wrong. They felt like the officers were just doing, proper protocol. And which we all know that that's a lie. But I just wanted to tell you guys that, I'll give you guys that bit of information. I'm sure it's already out there, but it's just mind-boggling to me. So I felt I had to speak on it. But, tell me what you think in the comments. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And that's my time. Peace.